Howdy folks, Eric here, back with another standard brew. This time, Guardian Sunmare, one of my favorite cards from Aether Drift. 5 mana, 5/5 horse mount. Got Ward 2, and it says, whenever this creature attacks while saddled, search your library for a non-land permanent card with mana value 3 or less, put it onto the battlefield, then shuffle. This card is kind of deceptively powerful. It's a little expensive, got decent stats. Most importantly, it has Ward 2. I think this card would be pretty unplayable if it didn't. Now it's kind of playable because it's got Ward 2. Let's check out the deck today. Well, we're building horses. Giddy up, y'all. It's horses. 4 Caustic Bronco, horse. 4 Gilded Goda, horse. 4 Roaming Throne, honorary horse. 4 Guardian Sunmare, horse. 4 Calamity Galloping Inferno, horse. Eric, this looks like a pile. How do you win? Well, dear viewer, dear chatter, this is a sneaky kind of mostly mid-range deck with a bit of a combo finish. If you have a Roaming Throne on the field and you play Calamity Galloping Inferno and you saddle saddle Calamity with the Roaming Throne, you make 4 Roaming Thrones. And if you do the math, that is 5 4-power attackers. So you can just kind of kill your opponent out of nowhere. It's expensive. 6 mana to get there, right? However, there are a lot of benefits to playing this deck, I think. First off, we get to run 4 Cavernous Souls. So our big clunky horses are going to resolve. Second off, I think there's some sneaky power in like Frontier Seeker, this card from Outlaws of Thunder Junction. The 2 mana 2/1, and when it enters, look at the top 5 cards of your library, reveal a mount, creature, or a plains from among them, put it in your hand. Helps us get what we need, finds our calamities, finds our Guardian Sunmares, finds our plains. We have the benefit in these colors of having really, really good mana. We have 4 Godless Shrine plains, notably. 4 Sacred Foundry plains, notably. Once again, we get to be on Cavern of Souls, and we get to be on Bucolic Ranch, Uncommon Desert from Outlaws. It taps for colorless, or 1 mana of any color to cast mount spells. And finally, it has this pretty relevant ability. 3 mana and tap it to look at the top card of your library. If it's a mount card, you may reveal it, put it in your hand. If you don't, yada yada. Okay. So that's the deck, pretty much. It's horses, it's Frontier Seeker, and it's a lot of removal, frankly. We're on 4 Seam Rip, 4 Sheltered by Ghost, 4 Get Lost, 24 lands. The cleanest deck list you've ever seen, all 4 ofs, mid-range in its purest form. We get the benefit of being able to play 2 Abandoned Air Temples to help close out games, a couple Soulstone Sanctuaries, honorary horse. And let's take a look at our sideboard real quick. So, pretty straightforward plan against grindy matchups and combo decks, etc. Control. Well, we have 4 Raven Interrupters, 2 Ademi of the Silk Shoots to counteract board wipes, basically. A couple High Noons for Is It lists and Rest in Peace as well. And then we're on 4 Split Up. I don't know why it's split up like this. Kind of a funny coincidence here. Just to combat other creature decks, basically. But you'll notice that we're pretty much mono white, right? Outside of splashing 4 Calamity, Gilded Goda, Caustic Bronco, all of our non-horse spells are white, so... And all of our like non-colorless sources are plains or white sources, etc., etc. So the mana runs really smoothly for a 3-color deck. There's no problem there at all. Off the top, one thing I will say, just to get this out of the way, I know I'm going to be asked this question. Eric, why are you not playing the 2/3 Lynx that is also a mount? Eric, aren't all of these horses just mounts? Why aren't you on, I can't think of the card name. I'll pull it up right here. I just know I'm going to be asked this. Glory Heath Lynx. Isn't this just better than Gilded Goda? Yeah. Probably it is. So Gilded Goda is a 2-mana 2/2. When it attacks while saddled, create a treasure token, saddle 1. All of our stuff has at least 2 power, so either one is easily saddled. However, this is a 2/2. Doesn't have any relevant abilities. I mean, making a treasure is not bad with Roaming Throne. But the Lynx, the 2/3, it finds basic planes out of your deck, which is pretty good. It has lifelink, survives like Firebending Lesson. Yes, that's all true. However, you've overlooked one critical detail that's actually not important to the deck. It's a cat and not a horse. So, in keeping with the theme of the horses, we're going to run it like this. But yes, it would pretty much on all counts probably be better than Gilded Goda. But if we played it, we would have to put our Cavern of Souls and our Roaming Throne on mount instead of horse, and that feels like it defeats the purpose. So we're sticking with the Goda. It's a horse. It's not a fake horse. It's not a cat. And we're jumping into our first match here. Mardu Horses. Off the top. On the play. Gonna keep this hand. I like it. I like that it has this early play here. Guardian Sunmare goes crazy with Sheltered by Ghost. Goes crazy with the Roaming Throne. All of our creatures are pretty crazy with Roaming Throne, to be honest with you. Kind of the all-star of the deck. There's a Llanowar Elves. Let's go ahead and just save some life here. We'll play the Bucolic Ranch. Get our Caustic Bronco on the field. Our curve is pretty whack. We're very incentivized to just like make sure we are tapping out on 2 here. In case we hit another 2-mana thing, we can double spell with this Seam Rip. We have like no 3-drops in the deck at all. It's the wackest curve you've ever seen. So getting on the board on 2, I think, is a little more important than Seam Ripping that elf there. So we can Seam Rip the Cub and then swing in with our Bronco. Hopefully we hit like a 2-drop here. Oh, there's a Sheltered by Ghosts. That's not bad. I think I'm going to hold off on the Sheltered by Ghosts. In case they play an Ouroboros, we at least have a guaranteed answer to it. Because if I like Sheltered by Ghosts this elf and they have another land in an Ouroboros, I'm pretty toast. Play a tapped Godless Shrine here. Just a couple Guardian Sunmares. I love this card. I love this card. I played it in paper for a little while. Back when like mono red was king, there's the Ouroboros. I had the other land. Back when mono red was king, and I was just playing green white and jamming 4 Sheltered by Ghosts and 4 Gear Hulks, and it was a beautiful thing. Go ahead, clear out this Ouroboros. They might have another one. We get a swing in. See what we hit here. Another Bronco. That's not bad. Continue to get on the board. Name horse, of course, with our Cavern of Souls. Roaming Throne's a really good pickup. Roaming Throne is a really good pickup. Doubles the triggers of the Caustic Bronco. Doubles the triggers of the Guardian Sunmare. Pretty much good all around. Mockingbird getting their own Bronco. Pretty sweet. Okay, another ranch. Saves us a little life here. Get our Sunmare on the field. Now, if you've never doubled the triggers on Guardian Sunmare, you haven't lived. It looks like they might have a repulsive mutation here. Nope. Just reading the card. Not going to swing in. Don't really want to give up anything here. I guess I could swing with the Bronco that is not sheltered by Ghosted. That may not have been a bad play, but I'm just fine with holding off here. Seems like they have something. Not sure what exactly. There is the Repulsive Mutation. Why didn't they counter my... Oh, Cavernous Souls. Okay. Right, the whole reason for the deck, really. The whole reason for the deck. It's funny that this deck is actually a really relatively budget build if you already own 4 Cavernous Souls and 4 Roaming Thrones, because they make up, like, I don't know, like a $400 price tag for the whole deck in paper, but the Cavernous Souls and the Roaming Thrones are like 95% of that. Swinging in. Reveals a Beast Binder. Well, if I cast the Roaming Throne here and they have another Repulsive Mutation, it's quite bad for me, so I'm just going to cast another Guardian Sunmare here. Importantly, Golem on the stack, right? Let's go ahead and saddle up this Sunmare. I'm going to play as if they have like another Repulsive Mutation, perhaps. Oh, there's a Tidebinder. Well, that's not the end of the world. Yeah, let's just play a tapped land and pass. We'll go with the Sacred Foundry here. Good to know that they are pretty well out of cards. I can quite safely go for the Roaming Throne play next turn. I think. I guess they could draw into another Repulsive Mutation, but it's unlikely that they're playing more than 2 in the main here, I think. Game 1. Saddling up the Bronco. Pretty neat. It's an Innkeeper's Talent. Couple damage off the top here. If they have another mutation, I guess they get to kill me? No way that's their last card. That would be a pretty sad way to go here, I think. Wow. Okay, I guess so. That feels a little irregular, but let's go ahead and bring in these split ups. Let's take out the... I think in this matchup you probably cut the Caustic Broncos. I think we win by sticking a Sunmare or an Inferno and just like controlling the board up until then. The Gilded Godas play pretty nicely with Roaming Throne. Like you go Gilded Goda, Roaming Throne, crew it. You get 2 treasures, which guarantees that you can cast the Calamity. Let's skip the Broncos. Also, the Broncos are a nice target for their Mockingbirds, I suppose. Really weird way for that game to play out. They did end up having... No, I guess they drew into the Repulsive Mutation. They had Binder, Repulsive Mutation, just a lot of like interaction, I think, that you don't really expect from the Simic Ouroboros deck, Game 1. I like this hand. Turn 2 Frontier Seeker, hopefully hit a Plains. Got split up. We got some top end, got a lot of removal. Should be pretty effective. Yes, Frontier Seeker, not a horse, but in this case I'm willing to make an exception because it's really just so good in the deck, guaranteeing that not guaranteeing, I suppose, but helping us get to 3 lands. Finding our mounts. Pretty sweet. Couple other horses I considered playing. Well, one other horse I considered playing. Taurian Mauler. 3 mana changeling in red. The 2/2. And whenever an opponent casts a spell, put a 1/1 counter on it. It's probably pretty good. It's probably okay as far as like horses go. Maybe better than the Goda. But I don't have the wild cards for them, and I'm not gonna craft Taurian Mauler for just this silly horses deck. I guess it's fine in like a dragons list as well. Badgermole Cub. I guess we just split up here. Set them back to the Stone Age pretty much. Swing in. Keeps them from untapping with 1,000,000 mana. Third starting town. Drunith, Reviver of the Hive. Okay, well, they're all dressed up. Do they have anywhere to go? I think I'm going to Seam Rip the Drunith here. And then I guess I Seam Rip the... I think I have to Seam Rip Drunith. And then hold up Get Lost for an Ouroboros. I guess offer to trade a Frontier Seeker while I can, while these are pretty small. The problem with this play is they may have the mana to Ouroboros and hold up interaction. Shocks themselves. Probably holding up a Repulsive Mutation here. There's a Cavern of Souls, pretty huge. Let's just go for that. Name horse. I guess we swing in with the Frontier Seeker again. And if they want to like Repulsive Mutation to counteract that, like just to kill my Frontier Seeker, I'm pretty happy with that. There's an uncounterable horse, Guardian Sunmare, entering the fray with a trusty Shelter by Ghost by its side. Innkeeper's Talent. I wonder if they just shocked to like make me think they had something. Not unlikely with only 2 cards in their hand. Are they thinking about going all in on this Innkeeper's Talent? Okay. Huge for me. Well, I don't think they're just dead. Guess they have to block with the Badgermole Cub if I just swing at them. No, that doesn't seem right. Play the ranch. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mana to work with. 5 total to abandon Air Temple. We can Get Lost the Cub and Sheltered by Ghost the Talent. Or Sheltered by Ghost the Talent, then Get Lost the Cub. I can't saddle this turn. I'm going to Get Lost the Talent. Sheltered by Ghost the Cub. And swing in for a pretty hefty chunk. Pretty tough spot for them here. Sheltered by Ghost makes Guardian Sunmare Ward 4, which is functionally hexproof in a lot of situations. Another small synergy that you might not necessarily think about, but Ward is a triggered ability of a creature I control, so if I have Roaming Throne on horse, in this case, the Ward will double trigger on the Guardian Sunmare. So something for opponents to kind of like think about if they're holding up removal. Could come up, could trip some people up. Another Frontier Seeker is pretty good. It'll let me crew up the horse. I guess they could have a Tishana's Tidebinder, but grab another horse. They could have a Tishana's Tidebinder, but if they Tidebind, it's like not that big of a deal. They'd have to like fully tap out for this. Yeah. And now they have to block my Guardian Sunmare here. So if I split up first, then they like have no board. I have to give up my Frontier Seekers, but not the end of the world here. One Sunmare plus an extra uncounterable Sunmare, pretty likely to close out the game. Drawing an Innkeeper's Talent won't do a whole lot for them. All right, GG's. What a fun deck. I wonder if I'm supposed to bring in Avian Interrupter. A little more interactive. Better than the Gilded Goda, probably. We live or die by our removal, you know? So I think being able to like just control the game early and then attack in with these really hard to interact with threats. Make sure we have a split up. I don't think our 2-drops, like our 2-mana 2/2s, do anything against them, you know? Just too easily blocked. Okay, hopping into game 3 here. Opponent taking some time to decide. We're going to keep this hand. Pretty much has everything we want. Not a whole lot of horse action, admittedly. I'll admit, not a whole lot of horse action. But we have the split up. And a lot of heart. There's a horse. Badgermole Cub. Okay. Innkeeper's Talent. Pretty good. Hope we draw an untapped source. Well, just going to hope that split up is enough here. There's the Boyd. Level up the talent. Big guys. Kinda crazy how quickly out of hand this gets. Horse. Gotta split up. And then hopefully our get lost follow-up will be enough to clean this up. Ooh. It's just so nasty. It's just so nasty. Okay. Alright, let's move on to match number 2. All that waiting around just to get absolutely whomped by the combo. Oh, it hurts. It hurts sometimes. That's okay. We've got big horses and a big heart. Moving to match 2. I think that match specifically is going to be quite tough because they just have this turn 3 powerhouse that, like, if they untap with it, you know, is pretty crazy. Gonna keep this. Kind of showing off, like, even split up is just not enough, you know? In that scenario. I think we should be pretty good against a deck like this, though, with our Cavern of Souls. Bronco should be decent if it doesn't die right away. If they choose to counter this, not a huge deal. Really, I'm interested in resolving the Frontier Seeker. Try to get a Plains. Rediscover the Way. Okay. But I think all of, like, the ward that we have and the Cavern of Souls could be pretty big game. Let's hit a Godless Shrine. There's a Plains. We'll take it. Pass it to you. Legend of Karuk. Okay, Frontier Seeker's a pretty good draw here. Hopefully we hit another plains. Yup. Grab that. Let's hold up this Get Lost, I suppose. Maybe I'm supposed to just Get Lost the Legend of Karuk there, actually. Keep them off of a card. Yeah, I think I probably should have done that in retrospect. Although if they tap out for like a Shiko to replay the Day of Judgment. Okay. Well, no need to make a bad play worse. Let's just Get Lost this while we can. Hopefully we hit a land here. That's a land. Get our Sunmare online. Obviously, like, the Roaming Throne's quite good, too. I guess if they don't have an answer for the Roaming Throne, we could just threaten lethal next turn. But I don't like that play as much without a Cavern of Souls. I think I'd rather just have this, like, bigger ward threat that can swing through their Shikos. Okay, another Calamity, not the worst. They're pretty likely to counter this. Let's make them have it. Ooh, okay. Crew up the Sunmare. They probably have like a Get Lost here. Yep. Ward. Not the worst outcome. Pretty much exactly where we were. They're eyeing my Sunmare. Dock up. Would love to draw a Cavern of Souls. Pretty much our best hit. Might just start firing off the maps here. Okay, there's a Calamity. Sorry, there's a Sacred Foundry, which lets us cast Calamity. Let's go for a map here. Maybe we hit a Cavern of Souls. Frontier Seeker's not a bad draw. Not great, though. Don't use the Bucolic Ranch, because I think I'm just going to hold that up. There's a Sheltered by Ghosts. Not really what we need right now. Let's just go swinging in, see if they do anything about this. Pretty big chunk. We'll shock ourselves and hold up this Bucolic Ranch activation here. Firing off a Coil and Catch. Fortunately for us, the Ward 2 on Guardian Sunmare makes their Jeskai Revelation a little tougher to use. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana currently. 8. There's a stock up. Activate the Bucolic Ranch, see if we have a mount on top. Or filter away a bad draw. Probably don't want a Sheltered by Ghosts, although... Say we go for the Sheltered by Ghosts, right? Actually, I think we kind of... Oh. I misclicked. I think we kind of did want it in retrospect, because it would let us, like, force their hand pretty much as far as removal goes, and then probably resolve a Roaming Throne. Play another Ranch. I guess we just go for a Roaming Throne here now. 3 mana to pay for No More Lies. They could have just like Lightning Helixes in their hand. They might be thinking about 3 steps ahead here. We'll name Horse. Honorary Horse. Go ahead and try to crew up this Guardian Sunmare. See if they have another Get Lost. A Braid. Interesting. So they have to pay the ward here. However, we do get to mount or saddle the Guardian Sunmare here. I think it's probably pretty good to go for... We have a lot of options, but I think Sheltered by Ghosts... Your deal, Maple. What? Sheltered by Ghosts puts us out of Jeskai Revelation range and gains us a pretty good chunk of life. A lot of the ways this deck wins, like the Jeskai list, tends to win is just by burning us out. Team Rip on the Sheltered by Ghosts. And they're also in just hit you with Calamity and kill you range. Interestingly enough, get lost. Okay, well, this is not the worst outcome, because we can map up the hasty Calamity and hopefully force them to block. When they hit, there's a Roaming Throne. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana to work with. I guess we go for the Roaming Throne here. Fire off some maps on it. We'll name Horse, of course. There's a land. Would like a Cavern of Souls here. Okay. Just gonna go for a Seam Rip on there. Seam Rip. Soup up the Roaming Throne. Make it pretty hard to deal with. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They won't be able to Jeskai Revelation it. Unless I... Yeah, they won't be able to Jeskai Revelation this. They could bounce the Sheltered by Ghosts, I guess. And then flashback the Braid, pay for the ward. That could play out pretty nicely for them if they have Jeskai Revelation. We'll see if they see that. Give me a second, Maple. A second. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mana. Well, they can't answer at all, I think. Let's just go for the Calamity. Probably should have played the Godless Shrine here to play around No More Lies, but pretty sure they're not going to be able to do everything here. Yeah, that was my goof. Lightning Helix me. Lightning Helix me. Well, not the end of the world. We have a backup Calamity here. I totally flubbed though. I should have paid the extra or played the Godless Shrine to play around No More Lies. I had been doing that so well and I just got distracted by my dog. Got distracted. Kind of putting up a good fight though. Parity as far as card advantage goes. I'll probably fire up a... if I were them, I'd just go for like the Rediscover the Way, I think. I guess I don't know what's in their hand, but... Yeah, sorry for the goof, guys. I think I could have won that game if I had just held up the right mana. They decide to Lightning Helix me to play around another Calamity, I suppose. Go for another Calamity. See if we can make them block with Shiko. I guess we just... Yeah, let's fire off one more here. There's a Roaming Throne on top. That's pretty good. Play our Gilded Goda. Saddle up the Calamity. They're reading my cards. Make them block Calamity here. Okay. Now we have Abandon Air Temple for the next turn. guarantee that we can just kill them with the Gilded Goda. Here's a Shiko. That's a pretty good draw for them. One, two, three, four, five, six mana left. So they can't also Jeskai Revelation. They have to kill the Calamity, right? Stock up. Kind of baller. Kind of a baller move. Not sure if it's right, but they're trying to put this thing away, you know? Not just trying to stave off the pressure here. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. So now they're in Jeskai Revelation range. So they can bounce, kill. I guess I just go for the Roaming Throne anyway. Make them do it. Untap with the Roaming Throne. Play the Plains first, I guess. And then I can also activate the Abandoned Air Temple. I have enough mana to just replay a Calamity here, actually. If they decide to bounce it right now. Name horse. They will not let me attack here. But then I can replay the Calamity post-combat. They can't also kill the Roaming Throne, which is nice. Because of the Ward 2. They decide to kill the Gilded Goda. Okay. Let's just go for the Calamity now. Play around Counter Magic. We're close. Swinging in. Gonna play around Jeskai Revelation on Calamity here. Just let them hit me. They might just wipe the board. Fair enough. We got a couple more horses where that came from. Speak of the devil. We're here to jam the horses. Okay. Pass the turn. Activate these Bucolic Ranches. Or one Bucolic Ranch, I suppose. Get lost the Sunmare. Nothing I can do about that. Fortunately, we kind of have like a Quarry Mountain Monastery of our own, you know? Except it only grabs good cards. Activate the Monastery. Parting Gust. Okay. See what we get. We'll put that on the bottom. Ooh. I should have used the ranch on my upkeep. I'll just fire it now. Yeah, I'll take a Guardian Sunmare. Yeah. Yeah, I'll take a Guardian Sunmare. Make them Parting Gust my Sunmare. Get a fish. Suit up the fish with some map tokens. Cool. Ooh, another ranch is kind of sick. Let's stop on my upkeep, activate some of these ranches. They're looking kind of good, actually. Kind of a really good card in this matchup. More removal off the top. Well, fear not. See what we're drawing here. We do not need cavernous holes anymore, I think. Let's go for another one. We can draw that. That's fine. That's some action. Don't think we play it quite yet. Let's play around this other get lost and just plan to activate the bucolic ranch again. Coil and catch. What a grindy matchup. This is only game one. It feels like it's going on forever. They only have 14 cards in their deck. Horses putting up a good fight. Putting up a pretty good fight. They're down one Jeskai Revelation. Several Day of Judgments. There's a Shiko from downtown. We have a Get Lost. Probably flashing back. They're going for a Lightning Helix. On my fish. Okay. Gaining a little life. Playing a land. This Get Lost will go away. I'll activate the ranch here. We'll put this Godless Shrine on bottom. Meant to set an upkeep stop again, but not a big deal. Let's Get Lost the Shiko here before it becomes a real problem. Go for a Roaming Throne while they're relatively tapped out. Make them think about 3 steps ahead here. Name horse, of course. And pass it to you. They might just deck out. They might just deck out. Keeping on a fire magic. How many Shikos have we seen? 1, 2, 3. 3 Shikos. I wonder if they're playing the full 4. Land off the top. 9 cards left in their deck. 27 on our end. Putting up a good fight. There's the River Regent. Well, we have removal for that. Bounces my Roaming Throne, bounces their Rediscover the Way. I'm pretty okay with that. They're genuinely in danger of milling out. Map on the River Regent. We'll let this happen. Stock up. Not a whole lot of action left in their deck. Okay, well, they're officially tapped out. One mana floating. So I'm definitely going to have to Get Lost this guy, but let's go ahead and see what we have on top first here. Another Get Lost. I don't think they can actually win if we just keep all of these, right? Yeah, let's keep that on top. Let's go for a Get Lost here. Draw for turn. Play our Roaming Throne. On horse. Pass it to you. Fire off a stock up. Their graveyard is crazy right now. They've got to have at least one more River Regent, I think, in the deck. but only 6 cards left. One more Jeskai Revelation might be enough for them to kind of pull this back. We'll see. Try to hit some fodder here. Just going to Bucolic Ranch twice. Put that on bottom. Don't need another air temple. Looking for a Calamity. I think that'd be pretty nice. Okay, they're going to go for a Jeskai Revelation while I'm fully tapped out, but it doesn't really make a difference to me. I guess they get to deal 4 damage to the Roaming Throne rather than put it back in my hand, but I think they're really in a position where they'd prefer to deal 4 damage to my face. So, not the end of the world. Jeskai Revelation. Decides to bounce my Roaming Throne. No, decides to bounce my Air Temple. Interesting. Gains some life, draws more cards, 4 left in their library. I will draw a Frontier Seeker. That is fine. That's some good fodder to block with here. Play a Frontier Seeker. I guess we grab a Bronco. Play a Temple. Play the Bronco, and now we can activate our Abandoned Air Temple to try to help block these monks. There's a River Regent. Okay. Bounce my guys. Bouncing my Frontier Seeker here, not the end of the world. 3 cards left in their deck. They could just have a bunch of card draw in their hand, so if they... Like, they have to put a card in their hand with Rediscover the Way. 2 cards left in their deck. Turning into a pretty interesting one. Gotta use this Get Lost on the River Regent and just chump the monks for a couple turns. What a weird, weird match. Firing off a map, that's not a good idea. I guess they know the order of their library here, right? There's another River Regent, good to know. But, like, if there was 1 land left, that could have been maybe not ideal. Take this hit. Like I said, I'm pretty sure we have to Get Lost the River Regent. Let's see if we can draw a little more action here. Seam Rip. I guess Seam Rip's good enough. Clear up a monk. Let's draw. Play around. No more lies here. We can Seam Rip a monk. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They could have like a... Oh, they could have a 3 steps ahead, copy their River Regent in response to my removal. That could be a bit of a problem. There's a Calamity. Let's see if I can make them think they have to deal with this Calamity, probably. And then get them with the Get Lost on the River Regent. We can copy our Frontier Seeker. See if they do anything about all this. Get some extra cards. There's another Calamity. Do we have a Plains? Basic Plains? And we'll take the Godless Shrine, I suppose. Well, now we have no choice but to go for the Get Lost right now, I think. Because interesting. I guess we haven't shuffled in a while. We've just been putting cards on bottom over and over, so we know exactly what is on top. I've never seen that happen. Because if they have counter magic, I guess it doesn't matter. Like, if they just untap, they kill us, you know? I think I just have to go for the Get Lost now and hope they don't have anything. Okay. And then if they have Lightning Helix, I die to this attacker. If they have like land, I think I have to shock and play a blocker here. Because if their last card is Lightning Helix, then I guess they just play the River Regent, bounce my blocker anyway. I guess we just pass. See what they have left here. Could have nothing. Maybe they've been through all the Lightning Helixes. 1, 2, 3. Rediscover the way. Okay. Lightning Helix. Okay, fair enough. What a match. What a game. I guess that was game 1. I'm going to go let my dog out real quick, so you won't see this, but I will be right back after boarding here. Bring in the Aven Interrupters, take out the Seam Rips. I guess they Seam Rip their Seam Rips, but everything else is a little more flexible here. I actually think our 2-drops are pretty good here. Definitely cut a land, probably, since the game's going to go pretty long. Go down on a Plains. Go down on a Sheltered by Ghosts. Alright, like that. And then I'll be right back. Alright, back in it. Game 2. Mardu Horses against Jeskai Control. Putting me through the ringer here. Gonna keep this. I like the double Aven Interrupter. Not a very fast start, but good mana. I like the Soulstone Sanctuary. Could use like a Caustic Bronco off the top to get on the board early. Would be nice. Could use a Cavern of Souls. Would be a pretty nice draw as well. There's another Sunmare. There's a Demi of the Silk Shoots. That's a pretty good draw. Let's just go ahead and play a tap Sacred Foundry and pass. We can continue to play Draw Go for a little while. We don't get a whole lot if we flash in this Ademi and they counter it. It's not like we can untap and play anything particularly good. So let's just continue to Draw Go. I think I'd like one more land here before I do anything. Meringue River Regent. Well, I can't interrupt this because they just get a free 6/7 dragon, which would be pretty tough. Rediscover the way in the graveyard. Let's just go for a speculative Ademi here. I don't want to fire up the Soulstone Sanctuary. Too fragile. Would set us back if it died. They let me have Ademi. Well, that's pretty good. Go ahead and swing in. Put on some pressure. There's a Lightning Helix. I guess we sacrifice the Ademi here. Keep them off of the life. Three Aven Interrupters. Could be good. Could be dangerous. Could be good. Really just need to hit some lands here. There's a land. Would love a Cavern of Souls to start all of this. I think we want to wait until we have even one more land so we can double Aven Interrupter at this point. Revs up the Monastery. There's a Legend of Karuk. Maybe I was supposed to flash in Aven Interrupter at my end step to make this more expensive. If they counter my Aven Interrupter here, it's pretty bad for us. I guess we'd get to tap out for a Sunmare. This is a tricky matchup. Maybe we just go for the Soulstone Sanctuary now. See if they Helix it. They've already used one. Could be a good opportunity. Okay, pretty nice. Untapping with a Vigilant Soulstone Sanctuary here and double Aven Interrupter. Actually is kind of huge game. Just start swinging in. There's a Helix. Well, guess we have to let this one go. Let's go ahead and get lost the Legend of Karuk while we have a chance here. RIP Soulstone Sanctuary. Not really our window. Chico. I guess we'll go for the Aven Interrupter here. Make them no moralize this. Sheltered by Ghosts. I wonder what's in their hand. Let's swing in. Not gonna go for the horse quite yet. There's another Shiko. Let's make them tap a little more mana. We'll let them go for whatever they're gonna go for here, and then probably even interrupt it. It's gonna make them they're gonna have to pay extra for it. Targeting. Rediscover the Way. Pay extra mana. Let's see if we get to interrupt this. What do they have in their hand? Are they just like flooded beyond belief? Okay, kind of huge. Now we get to Sheltered by Ghosts, the Shiko, and fight through any removal they have in response to this. Wow. I guess they could have like a Day of Judgment. This is a little risky bisky. But this might just be our window. If they have like nothing but lands in their hand here. River Regent. I wonder if there's an argument for countering this one. Probably not. It would cost 6 for them to play it. But then they just like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just, I guess, bounce my interrupters back. And let them dig. Pretty susceptible to a Wrath of God now. But maybe we just let it happen and then fire up the Soulstone. Nine mana is quite a lot. Day of Judgment. Yeah, I'll go for another Aven Interrupter. See if they counter this. Maybe this is just my window. Triple Aven Interrupter, fire up the Soulstone Sanctuary. Fire Magic for 2, pretty good for them. Kinda tough to deal with that. Not great targets in their graveyard right now, fortunately. Shiko officially on the field. Play a horse. See if they have a No More Lies. Yeah, that's tough. Maybe we should have mulliganed for a Cavern of Souls. That would have helped us do pretty much everything a little better. Okay, the 4 horses assembled. Yup. Yeah, kind of tough. Kind of tough. Not sure really how we could have played this differently. Maybe you could argue there was an earlier window we could have jammed a Guardian Sunmare while they were tapped out. Rather than continuing to hold up Aven Interrupters, just go for one of these bad boys. That'll be the ball game. Dang. It was a pretty good game one though. We stuck out for quite a long time, and honestly, in retrospect, I think I goofed, I guess, where rather than like swinging with the Calamity and trying to force some action, just holding back blockers probably would have ultimately resulted in a win. I'm not sure, because they could have played the Meringue, but we could have had 3 creatures on the field, I think, and then get lost on the River Regent. So maybe there was a chance we should have won game 1, but still, deck's doing his thing. I think it's kind of sweet when it works. We are 0-2, to be fair, overall, but I think... Okay, this is a pretty good hand. I like that it's got a lot of early action here. I like that we have the Cavern of Souls. Go ahead and play tapped Abandoned Air Temple. That doesn't really exactly tell them what we're up to. Not that they care, probably. Go Cavern of Souls on horse, of course. Play the Gilded Goda. I think I like the idea of the Caustic Bronco sticking around. They decide to ignore my horse. They have no respect. There's a seam rip for the artist talent. That's actually really good. So let's go Soulstone Sanctuary. Seam rip the artist talent. Play a Caustic Bronco here. Crew up the Gilded Goda. Get a treasure. Rampin'. Pretty important. If we draw a Sunmare, now we can play it. Another Monument. Well, we've shut down their deck completely by hitting this artist talent, so feeling pretty good about that. There's another Seam Rip. Not bad. Go ahead and play out our creatures here. Start with the Frontier Seeker. I think we're going to go Calamity here. Make them deal with that. Oh yeah, it's horses. Oh yeah, it's horses, baby. Can you beat Calamity Galloping Inferno? Copying my Frontier Seeker for infinite card advantage? Can you beat that? They are drawing and discarding. Now it is them with infinite card advantage. 2 lessons in the graveyard. They may realize they need to kill my Frontier Seeker here. Play a mountain. 3rd Monument to Endurance? No way. That's what you're on? Dude. I mean, I guess can't kill you next turn. There's an Iros demonstration. Wrong target, in my opinion, unless you have like another firebending lesson here, perhaps. Saddle up Calamity. Go swinging. Get some more triggers. Grab another Calamity. Back up Calamity. Grab a Guardian Sunmare here. Okay. Tapped land. Pass it to you. We're all suited up. We're ready to go. Welcome to the ranch, Donuts Paradise. Welcome to the ranch. Otters are pretty cool, but have you seen horses, dude? Come on. This is a 4/6. Plus, the art is so sick on these cards. Bounce my Calamity. They're pretty much dead anyway, I think. So they're going to make some treasures, but they can't kill me over the course of these 2 turns. I guess I don't have the mana to cast the Calamity right now, which is in their favor. But I guess worst comes to worst, I can just Seam Rip the Artist Talent, and then they pretty much have nowhere to go. Grand. In play. Cavern of Souls. Interesting question. Because if I like fire up Calamity, swing, they block with Grand, but they untap with an Artist Talent. I think I'd rather Seam Rip the Artist Talent. Help me stave off death, just play the Guardian Sunmare. And then I have an uncounterable Calamity next turn with a pretty much guaranteed swing. I can't Seam Rip Grand and play Calamity this turn. Okay, well, Cavern of Souls on horse. Seam Rip the Artist Talent. Play a Sunmare. Pass it to you. Hold up blocks. They untap, unfortunately, but we are still at a healthy 20. Taking away access to their Artist Talent here. Triggering their monuments. Another Artist Talent, not bad. They've seen 3, pretty good. Kills my Seeker. They probably don't have an answer to my Calamity. Making treasures. Maybe I should have just made them give up Grand with the Calamity. Combustion Technique. Paying the ward. And now we don't have a way to crew up Calamity, so we're not threatening lethal anymore. Wow. What a series of draws. Fought through 2 Artist Talent. We're not dead yet necessarily, but they're really suited up to kill us over the course of the next couple turns. Could use another... I don't know what we could use. Another Seam Rip, maybe? What an insane series of draws from our opponent. What an insane series of draws. Genuinely, like... having that 3rd Artist Talent after having 2 of them removed already. I guess I should have killed Grand in retrospect, maybe? Because she's enabling a lot of mana reduction here. Okay, well, I guess I'm dead. If they have all lands in their hand, maybe just playing a Calamity here. Leaving it untapped. Because they can do 6. They probably have another monument by now, to be honest, actually. You got it, brother. Jeez Louise. Jeez Louise. High noons. Rest in peace. Cut the Broncos. Probably a little too fragile. I guess by that same metric, cut the Gilded Goda. Maybe I'd rather just have the Broncos. Threaten card advantage early here. Go down 1 Calamity. Right, like that. I mean, come on. Like, they go from me being at 20 to being at 0 and see half their deck over the course of 2 turns. I don't know. Double Seam Rip on the Artist Talent, like... Yeah. I mean, this has the hate. We'll see if it's enough. Horse. See if we can play around a knoll. I think the rest in peace is probably a little more important than the high noon. There's a grand. Go for a high noon. They might annul this. Nope. We've assembled the hate pieces. Will it be enough? We can Cavernous Souls on Golem here to ensure that it resolves. Guess we don't have to do that. But we're setting up pretty nicely. Gonna be pretty hard for them to win through this, I think. Play our Roaming Throne. Naming Horse. This is our chance. This is our moment. Bounce my Roaming Throne. That is their one spell this turn. Goes to their graveyard. They're drawing cards. They don't have a good answer to Guardian Sunmare. That much is true. Let's name Golem on this Cavernous Souls. Make sure that we can, in fact, resolve this Roaming Throne. Roaming Throne plus Guardian Sunmare breaks this High Noon parity very nicely, essentially letting us like triple spell in one turn. Big kicked Firebending Lesson. Fair enough. Grand swinging in. I guess I just seam rip this Grand, right? Like blocking it is nice, but I'm just gonna seam rip the Grand, hold up the Get Lost, keep them off of triggering this monument every turn. Storm Chaser's Talent. Fine. Play a land. Go for the Roaming Throne. Uncounterable. Name Horse. Accumulate Wisdom. Fine. Riddler. Not a huge deal. I think I like the Get Lost on the Riddler here. Uninteractable. There's another Get Lost. That's pretty good. Let's go for the Sheltered by Ghosts. Eat their monument. Keep them off of additional card advantage that way. Start gaining some life. Swing it in. Ward 4. Not unbeatable for them, but not easy either. Could have an Iroh's Demonstration here. That would line up decently. Bounces it. Not really a huge problem for me. Resolve. Would like a Calamity. Calamity would tie things up pretty nicely here. There's a Calamity. Let's go for our Roaming Throne. Name Horse. What a weird game. I mean, our hate pieces have looked very good, though. That's the one saving grace that we've got. They can't really deal with these enchantments. Artist Talent. Resolves. Gonna kill it. One spell per turn, baby. Holding up their Agna Kala. Still the artist talent. We're gonna go for the combo. Uncounterable. Probably pretty hard for them to interact with this. Get your ass beat. Is it Otters? Game 2, to be fair. let's go. Let's go into game 3, hopefully. Name horse. We don't have to name anything here, but it is funny if we just name horse for all of them. Kind of rub it in, you know? Just a little bit. Just a little bit. It's all good, clean fun. Hopefully I'm not speaking too soon, but it feels like this is enough. There's their one spell for the turn. And we've got this thing wrapped up pretty nicely. Block. Die. Okie dokie. High Noon looked really, really good there. Rest in Peace looked good. Let's bring in a couple split ups for the draw. Probably go down a couple Sheltered by Ghosts. That seems right to me. Sheltered by Ghosts is good with the Guardian Sunmare. It's not that, like, we cut a lot of creatures to be able to put it on, plus our cheap creatures are not good targets in this matchup because they just die too. I'm going to keep this hand. It's got the hate pieces. Pretty straightforward. We can start with a Seam Rip on Grand here. Yeah. Storm Chaser's talent. Let's go for the High Noon first because we have 2. Okay, well. Yeah, I think I like the High Noon here. Keeps them from kind of going crazy. We have a split up for their Otter board here. Maybe we land a second High Noon. Play around Quench on the Rest in Peace. Pretty important that we get this Rest in Peace down, I think. Double High Noon keeps them from being able to bounce and go crazy. They could have a Null. Name Horse. Go for the Rest in Peace. Playing around Quench and Spell Pierce. And that ought to be pretty good. There's Grand. Let's just play the Soulstone Sanctuary. We'll let Grand swing once. Maybe we can catch them all in this split up. Fire up the Soulstone in the process. Pretty much their only hope at this point is that we have like nothing going on. Gonna play around Iroh's Demonstration here, I think. Here's the Monument. Not a huge deal. Fire up the Soulstone Sanctuary. There's a Roaming Throne. That's pretty good. Let's just split up this board while we can. There's our one spell for the turn. Honorary Horse. Actually, Soulstone Sanctuary really is a horse. Roaming Throne's more of the Honorary Horse style. But it should be pretty good here. Ooh. And there's the combo. Roaming Throne on Horse. Are we doing it again? Are we going to take a match off of Is It Lessons? That would be That would be pretty sick. Uncounterable Calamity coming up. Okay, you got anything? You got anything? I don't know if they could have anything. That'll brighten your day. That'll brighten your day. That'll brighten your day. That feels good. That feels really good. After those first two pretty tough matches, our openers, games 2 and 3, were pretty nuts as far as like the amount of sideboard hate that we actually have versus how frequently we saw it. It was pretty nuts to see them exactly rest in peace and high noon in our 7 card openers. But we'll take it. We'll take it. Who cares? Honestly, F that deck, you know? The Romanian. Match number 4. Mardu Horses. The combo is popping off. Gotta mulligan this. 1 land. I like this hand. Go ahead and put a ranch back. Lead on a Godless Shrine. There's a Roaming Throne. That's the combo. Play a Frontier Seeker. See if we can hit like a Sacred Foundry here. Guarantee we can cast the Calamity. Ooh, nice. You just gotta put good energy out in the universe. You gotta put good energy out there. Might of the Meek. Okay, gonna be a tough matchup here. We have good removal for this matchup. Unfortunately, they could just kill us next turn. Play this tap Sacred Foundry. No Get Losts in hand. Probably our best draw right now. There's the show off. Do they have it all? That's the question. They could just have it all. Sometimes they just have it all. Dreadmaw's Ire. 5 power. Full bore. 10 power. Hits me. Get mono red. Get mono redded. Riveting stuff. Riveting stuff. Magic as Richard Garfield intended. Gotta bring in interaction here. Let's go with the high noons. Let's go with the Aven Interrupters. I don't actually think Split Up is very good in this matchup. We have enough like good targeted removal. Let's go down on our combo a little bit. Once these things stick, they're gonna stick. Probably just better to have these early flexible creatures. This is a beatable matchup for sure. We just need to have the removal. And going in blind, we just did not. I kind of think this is enough. The fact that we can guarantee this turn 2 Sheltered by Ghosts on a Gilded Goda. Sorry, turn 3. It's not instant speed, but it could be enough. Kind of forces them to have a fast hand, you know? There's an Emberheart Challenger. Okay. Go for our Sheltered by Ghosts here. Start getting some life back. Hit the Challenger, keep them off of card advantage, and be able to attack through here. Tap Sacred Foundry. What would I like to draw? Just interaction, I think, would be pretty ideal. There's a Kellen. We have a pretty good top end here, if we manage to survive. High Noon would be a fine draw. Aven Interrupter is pretty good. So we'll just pass here. No need to feed Gilded Goda into the system. And once we untap with a Guardian Sunmare, that's pretty much GG. Just being able to like guarantee a big 6-point life swing. I think I'm going to offer the trade for the headliner. See if I can bait out any pumps here. There's a turn inside out. Go for an Aven Interrupter here. This probably won't be enough to, like, stop this interaction from happening, stop the trade from happening, but it'll slow down their plan a little bit. Oh, they don't have a response. That's kind of huge for us, actually. We get to keep the lifelinker around. Sweet. Swing in. Play a big horse. Of course. Pass it to you. Probably not even gonna block, to be honest with you. Maybe I have to. Kind of feel like I don't have to. If they pump and kill my horse, I'm pretty out of the game. I think it's more ideal to risk this Kellen from going off. They must have garbage in their hand. But we are surviving a turn, which means we are putting out 9 life-linking power onto the field. I mean, even more than that, I suppose, with this roaming throne here. Naming horse. Crew up the Sunmare. Swinging in. You know I got more Sheltered by Ghosts, and I can grab a High Noon. Which really, really just shuts this whole thing down. That ought to do her. That ought to do her. On the draw, split up could be the play. I think Aven Interrupter is necessary. Let's go down the Gilded Godas, up the split ups. Try it like that. I think losing a little life off of our Caustic Broncos is worth it, probably. To dig. I don't know. To be honest, I don't really know. We'll bring in the split ups. Try it like that. This is a good hand. It's bad through a ley line, to be honest with you. But if this is their one creature, and I kill it, then maybe we're doing fine. You have more creatures? Or did you keep a hand that is threatening to just try to kill me on turn 2? What you got, pal? Land. Okay. I'm going to take that as a no creatures sign. Maybe pretend I have some kind of removal. Pretty good for us. Not able to cast this Bronco, unfortunately. There's an Emberheart Challenger. Gonna be pretty tough. Probably taking a big hit here. Might of the Meek. Okay, so they're drawing quite a few cards. There's another ley line. Huge hit for us. Absolute garbage. There's Kellen. There's an Aven Interrupter. We might just be dead. I'm gonna split up here. It's really better if I get to Aven Interrupter, because then next turn I can Shelter by Ghost something, swing, and split up. But with the ley line on the field, I guess if I get to like Aven Interrupt a Flick Shot show off, that could be enough. We'll see. The ley line really complicates this. The split up didn't look that good. Like, they just untap and kill me anyway, probably with one creature. I think I'd rather go for the high ceiling play. Interrupt this. It's going exactly as we planned. Take them down a creature. Now, if they have pump, and the guy, I guess I have to present a blocker here. But then they just like Slick Shot show off me next turn. Ooh, this is tough. They say I block and they have nothing, then I'm kind of losing out a lot in that scenario. But if all they have is like a couple Might of the Meeks, I'm much better off if I have this Aven Interrupter next turn. I can hit the ley line with the Sheltered by Ghosts and split up. Kind of tough either way here. There's a turn inside out. There's a very expensive full bore, pretty relevant. Aven Interrupter kind of popping off. It looks like they have the guy anyway. Yeah. Tough stuff, tough stuff. Maybe should have mulliganed that hand. Mardu Horses. Currently 1-3. Happy that our one match was against the Is It Lessons deck, to be honest. Let's go into one final match here. Kind of on a poor run, as far as like these experimental 3-color decks go. The 2 Murata lists, I think we went 1-4 with those, and now another potential pretty bad result. I think there is it. Yes, it is a meme deck. Yes. But I think there's something here to like all of the ward, all of the like. You know, if you untap with the Roaming Throne, you're probably just going to kill them with a Calamity. I think that's kind of real. I like the crossover between Horse being relevant for the Guardian Sunmare and the Calamity. I think our early horses are pretty good, other than maybe Gilded Goda is not that good. The Frontier Seeker has played very well. I kind of feel like if we were serious about this, like as a potential real list, quote unquote, whatever that means, leaning more into the mount style, honestly maybe splashing like, instead of being in black just for Caustic Bronco, there's like a lot of really good green mount stuff. So you could do like Naya mounts. I'm gonna keep this. There's a Gilded Goda. Maybe Naya mounts is what I try next. Keep the combo in. There are a lot of really good green mounts. We'd get access to like Herd Heirloom, which I think is a strong synergy piece with Guardian Sunmare. Yes, at the end of the day, it's just like a clunky creature deck, kind of, but it's got a pretty strong like synergistic finish. Let's play this. Let's play this Frontier Seeker here. Maybe we hit like a Caustic Bronco. I like the Guardian Sunmare. Go ahead and fire up the Goda. Get a treasure online. Get that much closer to the Sunmare here. They might just trade. I'd be okay with that. See, this is the benefit of the Goda over the Lynx, because the Goda lets us actually ramp. Which is kind of nice. We can seam rip this Esper Moduin. Not entirely sure what I'm playing against here. It's Sheltered by Ghosts, the Esper Moduin. I'm going to take Take the opportunity to just seam rip it. Play another Goda. I guess I can shock myself in case they're on some kind of crazy combo and I need to get lost to something. I'm kind of anticipating, like, I don't know, I guess this could be like a Yuna deck. Anti-causal vestige. Is this the... I guess it could be like an Ugin deck? Yeah, I'm gonna put them on Ugin. There's a Calamity. I think I have to Sheltered by Ghosts this planetarium. To be real with you. Hold up, get lost for Ugin. And get some treasures going here. Set up for a pretty good Calamity turn. As much as I'd love to play the Guardian Sunmare, I don't think I can let them untap with this. If I can help it. Summon Fenrir. It all resolves. All of it. All of it resolves. Esper Origins. Big fan of this card. Haven't played much Esper Origins in my videos, but huge fan. There's a Bronco. We can play the Sunmare. Hold up, get lost. Threaten a pretty good turn with the Sunmare here. I guess we can swing in with the Frontier Seeker. Doesn't matter too much. Ugin can't kill either of my creatures, but it can kill my Sheltered by Ghosts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's a Deadly Cover-Up. Interesting. So they get their planetarium back. Looking for a... they're looking at my deck list and saying, oh, this guy's just playing horses, huh? Yeah, taking all of the Sunmares, fair enough. They have a healthy respect for the big horse. I guess we just play... I guess we play a Caustic Bronco here and go for the Ranch. I don't want to expose the Calamity, I think. If I can help it. Activate the Ranch. Hope we have enough mana to just kind of kill him in one turn. We'll activate the Ranch here. We'll put the plains on the bottom of our library. And then proceed to grab it. Ugin off the Tizop. Well, that's pretty good. I guess we get lost the Ugin right now before they get to untap with it. Still, not outside of the realm of possibility that we win this, although it's looking quite grim. Esper Origins. Kind of need things to line up nicely here. I think I'm pretty well incentivized to play the Calamity and swing next turn. Oh, what's this? What's going... Wait. Oh, they just cast an Ugin. Oh. With Esper, Mardu, and Surveil? That's disgusting. With the planetarium? Okay. Fair enough. Bring in the Aven Interrupters. Bring in the Ademies for the board wipes. High Noon's probably quite bad. I like all of our early creatures. Go down on the seam rips. Even if they hit the Esper Origins, it's not that good. Cut 1, get lost. Cut 1, shelter by ghosts. Alright, like that. Could be a tough matchup. Could be a tough matchup. If you want to see me winning in a video for once, might I recommend Green-White Heirloom? Had a nice healthy win streak with those videos, or aka the Earth King wagon lists or Mighty Harmonizer lists. Alternatively, you could watch one of my more recent videos, Blue-Green Lessons. Had a pretty good run there. Gonna have to mulligan to 5. I like this hand. I like the Bronco plus Roaming Throne. I guess we wait on a Guardian Sunmare and wait on an Abandoned Air Temple here. Early Bronco could be a big difference maker for us if they don't have an answer to it. Go ahead and swing in. Cavernous Holes. I guess we'll just play a tap Godless Shrine. It doesn't really matter if they know about this Cavern of Souls. Okay. Well, we're going to fire up the Bronco again and swing in. We're getting pretty close to the combo, to be real with you. Name horse on our Roaming Throne. Saddle it up. Get a couple triggers here. Maybe just chunk them. Hit them for 2, but draw a couple cards. That's pretty nice. We are approaching combo range. They can't Ugin the Roaming Throne, which is huge for us. So they'll have to have some kind of instant speed interaction. I guess I like playing the Sacred Foundry here. Planning to fire that up. Could be pretty tough for them to deal with this setup, actually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's a 4/5. Resolve. Pass. Guess we just fire up the Soulstone Sanctuary here. I'm going to assume they don't have instant speed removal, and I'm just going to go for it. Play the Ranch. Play Calamity. They could have instant speed removal. Go for it. Swing in. Horse. 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 Ha. All right. For all the marbles here, the sweet, sweet 2 and 3 overall record. It looked pretty good. Just gonna run it back like that. Caustic Bronco, kind of killing it on that one. Helped us get our land drops. Pretty sweet. Didn't do a big chunk of damage. Got a mulligan this. I'm gonna keep this. It's a little risky bisky only because we don't have black for a Caustic Bronco, but we might be able to piece it together. Lead on the Air Temple. I like the Aven Interrupter here. Slows down their Esper Origins quite a lot. Go for the Goda. A Demi of the Silk Shoots, not a bad draw. Pass here, hold up the Aven Interrupter for Esper Origins. Set up nicely for a double spell turn. This is kind of huge. Forces them to put it in exile, which means they have to cast the front side again. Oh, we could just fire up the Interrupter here and land a Guardian Sunmare. Or You know what? I'm going to play around a board wipe, to be honest. So I probably should have played this. I'm leaving 2 damage on the field doing it this way. But I think if they go for like a board wipe here, I'm going to regret not having a demi. A demi kind of helps me fight through everything that they could be doing. So left 2 damage on the field, but I still think this is correct. Aven Interrupter real good into their Esper Origins. Go for an Ademi. They shoot my Bronco. Well, unfortunately for them, that was probably the wrong move. We can play the Sunmare freely here. Saddle up Gilded Goda. Treasure's kind of underrated, actually. The extra mana and the fixing, maybe compared to the links. Maybe this is just correct. Now we have mana open to activate Spectacular Spider-Man. Anti-Causal Vestige will not be enough. Will not be enough. Aven Interrupter ranching them wholly. Summon Fenrir. Not bad. Helps them ramp to 5. We just have to continue holding up mana for our guild, for our Ademi here. So I think we can freely play. Let's just hold up a second Ademi. I don't think there's much of a reason not to. Oh well, no, we can freely play this Sunmare. I think. Play the Sunmare. Crew this Sunmare. Crew the Goda. Swing for a bajillion. Did I just like miss lethal by crewing this? 8, 10. Yeah, I did. That's okay. Okay. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I could have gotten 1 more damage off of a Shelter by Ghosts just by playing the Sunmare and swinging out. Don't worry about it, because that's it. That's the 2-3. Now let's go for the Gambler's 6th match. I'm having too much fun now. When it works, it's so fun. When it doesn't work and we play against like meta decks, it's really a little sad, but can we even things out? The 3-3 with the meme deck. 3-3 overall record. Perfect place to be. Nothing more, nothing less. Can we save the day? 1 final match. The Gambler's 6th. And try to find glory or dig ourselves further into a pit of defeat. Find out on this episode right now. It's happening. It's happening. All right. Game 6. Pretty good hand. Bucolic Ranch lets us cast both of our guys. Let's just stunlock our opponent here. Hit him with the ranch. Let's go Goda. Yeah, I like the Goda here first, actually. They might kill it, but I also like that it kind of ramps us into this Sunmare in our hand. Not a big deal. And if this is more like a value-oriented matchup, having the Bronco is going to be pretty important. Oh, it's Cub. It's Cub. It's Cub. Play the Bronco. Tap out completely. Gambler 6th. Come on, Steven. Throw me a bone, bro. Don't have the turn 3 Ouroboros on top of Stab plus Cub. Okay. Turn 3 Ouroboros dodged. Huge game for us. It's kind of crazy how different the power level of this deck is when they have it turn 3 versus when they don't. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, this is a decent board for turn 3, but if they have the Ouroboros, it's like, oh, they win the game. I think I'm going to go for the Shelter by Ghosts on the Sentinel here. Swing in. All we can. Accrue some card advantage. Another Shelter by Ghosts. Kind of nice with it. I think I'm just going to jam that right now. Eat everything and everything. Anything and everything. Ward 4. Stab does not answer this. Deep Cavern Bat from downtown. We can tap out player Sunmare here. Cavern of Souls on horse. No need to swing in. Our 4-power Caustic Bronco crews up our Sunmare. We have infinite Sheltered by Ghosts to find. Abandoned Air Temple. That could be good. Help us live through a stab here. Crew up the Sunmare. See if they have anything to say about this. Bitter Triumph. Okay. Paying the ward. Fair enough. Yep, fair enough. We have a Frontier Seeker to follow up with. Get another Bronco. Get the Bronco on the field. Now we're threatening pretty reasonable attacks with our Abandoned Air Temple. Badgermole Cub. Swings with the bat. Let's go ahead and saddle up this Bronco and swing in. We don't need to give up our Sheltered by Ghost Bronco quite yet. Activate the Air Temple here. Kind of seems like they didn't realize I had that. Scoops it up. Mardu Horses taking a game off of Ouroboros. I guess we didn't see the Ouroboros, but still, feels good. Bring in the split ups. I think Aven Interrupter's a little too late on the draw here. Go down a little bit of the top end. Try it like that, maybe. Mix it up from our previous way we were boarding. Put some blockers on the board. On the draw. Match number 6. For all the marbles. Got a mulligan this hand. This is decent. I like that it has Get Lost. I like that it has Split Up. Need to find a second white source in the meantime. Now we have the combo to play toward. There's the Badgermole Cub. There's a Gilded Goda. Just gonna pass here. I can't afford to let them have an unanswered Ouroboros on turn 3 here. Another Cub. Earthbender Ascension, that's cool. Okay. Happy to see more Earthbender Ascension. I think this card's pretty neat. Able to produce some pretty big boards. Swinging in. And now if I split up this board, it doesn't really matter a whole lot to them. Unless they are on Craterhoof Behemoth. I guess if I let's say I get lost this Cub here, right? And then I draw a white source and I split up the board. I don't. I was trying to will that into existence. I was gonna say I at least get to like Sheltered by Ghosts, the next Ouroboros eventually. They're ascending. Hitting land drops. Triggering their guys. They still have quite a bit of mana. There's a Sentinel. Cool, cool. They have a lot of maps. Alright. Gonna go for the same play here, I think. Let them swing with the cub. Get lost the sentinel. Hope I just get to wipe the rest of their board here. Nope. Play a Gilded Goda. We had some chances. Unfortunately, the time has passed. And I am also passed. Now, officially for all the marbles, let's bring in the Aven Interrupters on the play. Go down a little top end. Go down a Goda. Try it like that. I've never wanted this 3-3 record more than anything ever in my life. I've never wanted to 3-3 before than in this moment. Am I just having a stroke? Do I keep this? I can't keep this, right? Never before have I wanted to 3-3 so badly. Match 6. Gonna mulligan. Gonna keep this. Do we want the Sheltered by Ghosts in a creatureless hand? I think we'd rather just have lands. Make sure we get up to our combo eventually. Okay, well, that's a good boon for us. It's not really showing off the power of the horse or the rotation of the horse, but it is a good boon. Triple split up. There's a Sentinel of the Nameless City. Kind of ideal for this split up, actually. Having Vigilance, right? So they'll play another, say they tap out for the Ouroboros. The Vigilance is a bit of a problem there for them. Map on the Sentinel. It's a land. Another Sentinel. Well, I'm going to take the 2-for-1. Name horse. Destroy all untapped creatures. Play a horse. Of course. Gilded Goda. Entering the fray. Split up is also kind of interesting in this list because there are some ways you can like tap your creatures without attacking to guarantee that we can avoid hitting our own stuff. Restless Cottage. Pretty big game here. Might be a little tough to deal with this guy. Maelstrom Pulse. Leaving it on top. No blocks. Well, there's our 4th split up. Which is interesting. I guess we just have to take them off of the creature here. They get to trigger the Ascension again, but slows down their tempo a little bit. Map on the cottage. They are hitting me, and I don't have a great answer for this in hand. I'd really love to draw like a Guardian Sunmare or Calamity. Sheltered by Ghosts. That's pretty good. At the very least, it slows them down a little bit. I don't think I'm going to hit the Earthbender Ascension because they just get to Maelstrom Pulse my guy and then re-trigger the Earthbender Ascension, which is kind of what they want ultimately. But I think gaining the life here is pretty good. Stab. Seam Rip. Pretty much does nothing here. Just pass. Not looking good, folks. Not looking good. We don't have an answer to this Restless Cottage at all. At all. Quadruple split up. Not even good enough. Man lands, too problematic. I just don't have any top. I don't have anything. The only creature I've ever seen, the only creature I've seen this game is the Gilded Goda. It's just not enough. It's just not enough. I'm going freaking crazy here. Filtered by ghosts. Well, gotta split up the Sentinel. Just not enough. I need to draw exactly Roaming Throne here maybe, so I can even that's not really good enough. It's the fact that they just have this cottage is absolutely ranching me. No Get Lost. Damn. Had a fun run. Had some good highlights. Had some misfortunes along the road as well. I'm not done brewing these horses. I promise you that. I promise you that. Guardian Sunmare, save us all. Save us all, Guardian Sunmare. Yeah, alright. Fair enough. GG's. Had a fun run. Mardu Horses. Next time, trying out Naya. If you stuck it around this long through Mardu Horses, you're a saint. Appreciate you. Thanks for watching. Keep an eye out if you had fun with this video for a future Naya mounts video probably next time. Or maybe like a 5-color mounts list. The thing that makes that possible really is that mount is a creature type. And so we have 3 lands that tap for 1 mana of any color when casting mounts, which is kind of crazy. And we can play Starting Town, right? Starting Town, Secluded Courtyard on mount. It's just like the Allies mana base. But what does this even get you? So you still get to play the Roaming Throne, because it's colorless. Mount. I think at this point we can't play Frontier Seeker if we're all in like this. You probably have to be on the Glory Heath links. Play some basic planes to find. Go on the Sunmares. Maybe you just chill on the Broncos still. Get the Godas involved. This forms a pretty decent early card advantage base. I'm kind of afraid that the Allies deck gets away with being kind of all creatures because they have a lot of actually very interactive creatures. Intrepid Stablemaster is interesting, but it's not a mount. You know what I mean? So we can't realistically cast it. I kind of like that you get the Tumblewag, but I'm not sure that any of this really is enough. Miriam, also not a mount, crucially. I like Seraphic Steed. Caradora, not a mount, finds mounts. Yeah, I don't think this is the way to build the deck. You're just kind of curving out with creatures, and it's just probably not enough. But I think maybe there's a Naya list in there somewhere. Or maybe you play Naya splashing black for the Caustic Bronco. Anyway, I'll figure it out. Thanks for watching. Catch you later.